Hi friends, I'm Leela with Uku-Lela Therapy, and I am a board-certified music therapist and licensed mental health counselor, and welcome to part 3 of my 6-part series on using music and expressive arts in acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. ACT helps us live a rich and meaningful life, even when things are hard. It's not about avoiding emotions or forcing positivity, but about opening up to the full experience of life with awareness and compassion. ACT includes 6 core processes: acceptance, cognitive diffusion, being present, self as context, values, and committed action, which work together to build psychological flexibility. In each video, I'll explore one of these processes and share a creative music-based activity along with a facilitator guide and handouts that you can use in your sessions or for your own personal growth. In part 3, we'll be talking about being present, so stay tuned. If you haven't watched part 1 on acceptance and part 2 on cognitive diffusion, I encourage you to go back and watch those videos and take some time in between each video to really practice these skills. Today we'll be practicing the skill of being present, also called contacting the present moment or connection. Let's start out with a quote by Eckhart Tolle. Unease, anxiety, tension, stress, worry, all forms of fear are caused by too much future and not enough presence. Guilt, regret, resentment, grievances, sadness, bitterness, and all forms of non-forgiveness are caused by too much past and not enough presence. I really like this quote because I think it really exemplifies what being present actually means in ACT and a way of thinking about presence that can be helpful. Because really, if you think about it, there's nothing in this immediate moment that we cannot handle. A lot of suffering comes from thinking about things from the past or thinking about things that might happen in the future. And that's not to say that there's never pain in the present moment or difficult things to deal with in the present moment, but there's a difference between pain and suffering. Pain is inevitable. We're going to experience pain in our life. Suffering is in addition to pain. It's the way we think about our experiences. It's kind of like throwing logs on a fire. The fire is going to be there, but we don't have to throw logs on it and make it bigger. Let's think about some times that you've really felt connected to the present moment. It could be something like playing with a pet or a child. It could be going on a hike or being somewhere beautiful in nature. It could be when you're on one of your favorite amusement park rides or at a theme park and you're just totally immersed in the day and the fun. This amount of presence is something that we can experience every day if we practice, even in the most mundane moments. It helps to imagine that we have 2 selves, our thinking self and our observing self. Our thinking self is the part of us that makes judgments about things and that feels connected to those judgments, like things like, I'm so dumb, or that was really annoying, why did they do that? The observing self is what is watching our thinking self. We're just kind of looking at what's going on, and it's not really making judgments, but it is observing the judgment. So it might say something like, well, I'm having a feeling that I'm annoyed, or I'm having a thought that I'm really dumb. The more we can tap into our observing self, the more we can start to feel present. One of my favorite things to do to tap into the observing self is to pretend like you're an alien. Just pretend like you're seeing everything for the first time or experiencing everything for the first time. So let's do a quick, easy little exercise to help us tap into our observing self. So we'll start by taking a few deep breaths. And first, we'll notice the temperature of the room on our skin. Does it feel warm, cold, neutral? Notice the feel of the clothes on your skin. Then begin to notice the colors and shapes that are around you. I see a lot of green because I'm outside. Are there any sounds that you can hear? Are they soft, loud, shrill, repetitive? Then see if you could notice any smells. Notice anything you can taste. If anything, notice how your mouth feels. Is it dry? Do you have any lingering tastes? So this exercise helps us to be in the present moment and also be an observer of the present moment. And we did that with our physical sensations, but you can do this with internal experiences as well, like thoughts and feelings. I'm noticing that I'm having a feeling of this or a thought of this. Another way to practice being present is with music, of course, because this is a music therapy series. And I think music is a great way of being present because it gives our brain something to focus on, and it can be really immersive to listen to a piece of music. So let's go ahead and try a similar thing, but with an excerpt of music. I'm going to play a song, and I want you to notice a few things about the song. Notice the speed, is it fast, it's slow. Notice the rhythms, maybe even tap them on your leg. You can count the instruments you hear, how many different layers do you hear in the song. Try to separate each layer. What would it sound like if you were an alien? You've never heard music before. And this can also be really helpful to write down what you're noticing. I've included a free download in my description if you want to check that out. I've also included a whole session plan and all the handouts linked in my description if you want to use this in a session and you're a therapist. Let's play the song. So we just practiced staying present with music, but you can do this any moment of your life. You can do it anywhere, anytime, with any activity. I encourage you to really practice this at least once a day. You can practice this when you're doing dishes, when you're eating a meal, when you're taking a shower. Notice the feel of the water on your skin, how it feels to breathe in the steam. And if you end up practicing this or you engage in these activities with me in the video, let me know how they were for you, what your experience was like, and stay tuned for part 4. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.